Every season, a team has a player on their roster that's underrated. Today, I'm going to be discussing the 5 players coming into 2024 that I think are severely underrated. Coming in at number 1, we have from the Colorado Rockies, Nolan Jones. Now, I want to say I know he's a young player, literally a rookie. Has high potential, first round pick, kid from Nevada. I know he's a young player, like I said, but the Rockies don't get a lot of coverage, so let me give him some help. Jones's year was pretty good. Finished 4th place in Rookie of the Year voting, 4.3 WAR with 20 home runs, 63 RBIs, and 20 stolen bases. That's pretty good for a rookie. Also, the kid's got an absolute cannon of an arm. And you got to highlight defense. Defense wins championships. That's the old adage. Everybody says it. A young player, though, that I think brings a lot of potential to the Colorado Rockies now and for the near future. Hopefully they can lock a kid like this up. He kind of does everything that you want him to do and more. He's a really good player from what I've seen. Like I said, I think he's underrated, maybe one of the most underrated, just because he's a Colorado Rocky. Tell me what you think about him down in the comments below. And let's get right into player number 2. Player number 2, we have from the St. Louis Cardinals, Brendan Donovan. Now, I am a St. Louis Cardinals fan. This might be slightly biased, but it is what it is. So, in a league now where I feel like utility players are starting to be, more desirable, people want those guys that can kind of play all around. Brendan Donovan encompasses the definition of utility. You look in the dictionary, that's where he is. That's a picture of him in the dictionary. Now, he is a Gold Glover, one-time Gold Glover. This year, his batting average was .284, had 371 plate appearances, and only struck out 53 times. That's insane to me. Also, fun little fact about him that you might not know. He played 8 different positions in the 2023 season. Third base, first base, short, second, and then the outfield. The guy is very consistent. Doesn't necessarily hit a lot of tanks, doesn't hit a lot of home runs, but he can get a hold of a ball when it's in the right position. I mean, guy can hit them, Not a flashy player, but his defense is phenomenal. Super solid guy. I'm glad the Cards have him on the roster. And like I said, I feel like the league is heavily leaning towards utility players. Another guy, Isaiah Kinner-Falefa. He's a utility guy, plays a lot of different positions. Those guys are valuable, more so now than they have been in the past, in my opinion. Big fan of his game. Like I said, super solid player. A little biased maybe because I'm a Cards fan, but he's number 2 on my list. Coming in at number 3 on my list, we have a relief pitcher, Bryan Abreu. Only has a 2-pitch mix nowadays. Came up with a lot more, but since he became a relief pitcher, he only really throws literally two pitches, a slider and a fastball. His ERA was a 1.75. He pitched 72 innings with 100 strikeouts, more than 1 an inning. Pretty good if you ask me. In his past 2 seasons, he's had an ERA under 2, both the past 2 seasons. A guy that doesn't give up a lot of home runs either, only giving up 6 home runs this season. And I know he's on the Astros. He's a champion. I just don't feel like he gets talked about enough yet. I think he's a guy that's about his business, at least the last 2 years. I don't feel like I hear a lot of people talk about him. Like I said, again, he super efficient with the 2 pitches he has. He threw 1 curveball, a little fun fact about him, and it was a ball, so that's the reason why he doesn't throw it. Helped the Astros a little bit in the playoffs. He's there to fight for the team. I like him. He's a young guy, going to be a free agent soon. If I was your squad, I'd try to pick him up. Next guy we got, number 4 on the list, Bryson Stott from the Philadelphia Phillies. Another young guy on the list. I know what you're thinking. A lot of these guys are young, and they are, but I feel like they're underrated. Phillies are loaded with great talent all up and down the roster, but I feel like this kid plays such a vital role for them. And I don't want to say goes unnoticed, but in most communities and team fan bases, I feel like you don't know about certain guys. I feel like he's one of the guys that needs to be talked about. 4.3 WAR, 31 stolen bags, which is above average, 164 hits, only had 15 home runs with 62 RBIs, and he batted 280. So no matter what the kid's putting the ball in play, however you look at it, batting average of 280, hit almost 170 hits, and he plays on a stacked team. He's a guy that plays offense, when he needs to play, and if Bryce Harper's not doing good, this kid can fill in. A great young infielder. I feel like everywhere I look, I just see clips of this kid defensively. Super good glove. I know he worked on it a lot in the past off season before the 2023 season. He could do a little bit of everything. I believe he plays a really vital role for him. And like I said, this kid's glove is probably something, doing this video, looking into him more, that really steps out to me. His glove is phenomenal. You can definitely tell he put in the work. Really smart, really efficient, detailed player. I like him a lot. I think Philly, if they can, needs to lock him up when it's his time. Like I said, I feel like a lot of these young guys are underrated. We've got so many top-heavy guys, Coming in at number 5 on the list, another Japanese pitcher. He spent 11 years over in Japan with a career average in that league of 2.42. The Mets signed him to a pretty big deal, and he started out the year rough. It was not very good. He was a little rough, a little up and down, but finishes the year second in Rookie of the Year. Not only that, guy's an all-star. Has 200 strikeouts in his first season with a 2.98 ERA and 166 innings pitched, a 4.5 WAR. I feel like, yet again, another trend that's going up. Japanese players, they're good. We saw in the Baseball World Classic. I feel like this guy will pay off. He's a little older, so I don't think he'll have a crazy long career, but I think, he got a lot of hate. I feel like that's more of what was talked about. And then after that, I didn't hear about him. Like, he fell off. This guy's good. I think he's underrated as well. So that rounds out my top 5. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the content. Let me know down in the comments who you think's underrated. And as always, like the video. Appreciate the love and support. Peace out, guys.